everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video, let's talk about some summer makeup. So summer is quickly ending, sadly. It's coming to a close. I'm so sad about it because I really love fall and winter, especially because I live in South Texas. It gets really hot here, but I love summer activities. I love going swimming. I love going to the beach. I love going to the river. Like, I just love everything that has to do with the water. And I'm just very sad that it is unfortunately coming to a close. But anyways, this is makeup that I want to make sure that I'm using before the summer season ends. So if some of you may not know, I do like to rotate through my makeup seasonally. And so what I mean by that is, you know, during the different seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter, I do switch out my makeup. And so usually for spring and summer, the makeup tends to be pretty similar, but for fall and winter, I completely just kind of like, you know, reorganize my makeup collection because I have some blushes, for instance, that may be more fall and winter appropriate and vice versa. Same thing goes with eyeshadow palettes, with lip products, things like that. And I feel like most people tend to wear makeup more seasonally or wear certain makeup products more seasonally, but that is what works best for me. And I also feel like it has helped me so much with making sure that I'm using everything in my makeup collection. So everything that I'm going to be talking to you about, these are products that I want to make sure that I am using before the end of the summer season. So let's get started. Of course, as I'm sure you can tell, these are going to be mainly color cosmetics. So let's get into it. I do have one bronzer, and that's this Kosas bronzer. It's the Sun Show bronzer in the shade Beachy. This has become one of my favorite bronzers in my collection. I just love how glowy this is on the skin. I also just love the formulation of this bronzer, but the reason I want to focus on this for sure before the summer season ends is because this is a little bit pigmented on my skin. I do feel like, you know, I can go kind of heavy-handed with this one, and because of that, I want to make sure that I'm using this when I have a little bit more color to my skin. I love to fake tan during the summer because it just makes me feel a little bit more confident with like showing my shoulders and wearing my swimsuit, of course. And so with that being said, I feel like I am just a little bit more willing to wear this, even though it is a little bit more on the bronzier side. It is a little bit more pigmented. So I definitely want to focus in on this one. Then I have some blushes. So for blush, one in particular, I was going through my makeup drawer right now, my blush drawer, for instance, and all of the blushes in there, for the most part, are more of like my spring and summer blushes. And this one did kind of pop out at me. It's a blush from Undone Beauty, and it's in the shade Flare. So I think I pulled this in recently into one of my everyday makeup drawers. And that's the thing. I, for the most part, have used all of these products because they were in my everyday makeup drawer at one point. However, maybe, you know, I want to get one more or two more uses out of it before I put it away, you know, again for the fall and winter. But this is a blush that I was thinking of. I feel like this is a very like spring, summer specific kind of color. For me, I look at this and I think spring and summer. I don't really think fall and winter, as I'm sure you can see here. It's like a really cute kind of like baby peach kind of color. So this is definitely a blush that I want to use before the summer season ends. And then I have these two blushes from Bare Minerals. So these are the bronzers. These can definitely, like, I can argue that these are also kind of fall and winter blushes, but especially the shade Kiss of Pink, I do kind of see myself using this one more during the warmer months of the year. So I do want to just kind of get a one last hurrah with these products again before I pull out some other blushes. And then the shade Kiss of Copper, kind of similar. I do view this one more as like a summer blush. Arguably, again, this can probably be a fall color because it is a little bit like coppery and like terracotta-y, but for some reason, I just kind of see myself more so wearing this in the summer. So I do want to make sure that I'm reaching for this one as well. Then we have some cream and liquid blushes. So firstly, from LYS, this is their cream blush stick in the shade Bubbly. This, as I'm sure you can see, is definitely more of a summer color, at least for me. Keep in mind, this is definitely my opinion. You can wear makeup anytime that you want. You don't have to do what I'm doing, wearing makeup seasonally. That's just what has worked for me in the past. So please, 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 like, do whatever you think is best for yourself. But this is definitely more of a summer color to me. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm using this one as well before the summer season ends. And I think the reason this one is more summery is because it does have that glow to it. And for some reason, I think glowy and I think summer, not so much fall and winter, although I still love like my glowy products during those seasons as well, but definitely want to make sure I'm using that one. And then I have two liquid blushes that again remind me a little bit more of summer. Firstly, it's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in the shade Pink Pop. So this one is very, very like just delicate on the skin. It has a really beautiful kind of like pinky peach color to it. And this definitely gives me more like spring and summer vibes. I think this is the most perfect color for spring. And again, not really a shade that I feel like I'll be reaching towards during the fall season. I love, 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 love this blush formula. So happy to use it. And then also a liquid blush from Hard Candy. This is the Face Off blush in the shade Born Yesterday. So this is more of a kind of like hot pink blush. And again, I just don't see myself wearing this during the fall and winter seasons. So I do want to make sure that I'm using this one again before the summer season ends. So those were all of the blushes. Now let's get into some highlights. So I love a good cream highlighter. That's definitely something that I love to wear during the summer season. For some reason, it just makes me feel a little bit more glowy and it looks a little bit more effortless than a powder. So one for sure that I want to make sure I use is the Winky Lux Strobing Balm in the shade Bubbles. This is probably my favorite cream highlighter of all time. I just love how this looks on the skin. I love how effortless it looks, and it really does look like you're glowing from within. So definitely want to make sure I'm using one of my favorites. I also have two cream stick highlighters. So the newest cream highlight to my collection is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Glow Stick. And this is definitely more of a summer vibe, not only because of the type of product that it is, but also because it smells like watermelon. And for some reason, watermelon, I just think summer. Like I kind of have a mental block when I smell watermelon and it's not summer. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely want to make sure I'm using this one during the summer. And then my last cream highlight is this one from Merit. I love this. This is another one of my favorite cream products. And this is the highlighting balm in the shade Kava. And this one is beautiful. I've definitely gotten some good use out of it so far this year, but again, I just want to make sure I'm focusing in on it. Then we have some lip products, and for lip products, again, I just want to make sure I'm using some of my more summery colors for the lips. And the ones that I kind of thought of are these two Too Faced lipsticks. So these are the Heartcore lipsticks, and I have two shades. I have the shade Heartcore, which is more of like a pinky red color. Such a great formula from them, and I know for sure I'm going to use this more during the summer. The other color is Nothing Compares to You, and this is definitely more of like an orangey red. And again, beautiful formula. Really, really love these lipsticks from Too Faced, but again, this color is definitely more for summer. So want to make sure I'm using that. I also have one of the lip stains from Fenty. These are the Poutsicle Hydrating Lip Stains, and I have the shade My Type. And again, this definitely screams more summer to me. I feel like lip stains are more summer appropriate than anything. So definitely want to use this for sure during the summer season. Another summer lip favorite of mine is this Tower 28 lip product. These are the Juice Bomb tinted lip balms, and this is the shade Drink. This is actually what I'm wearing on my lips today, but I went ahead and kind of blotted it a little bit. And it's basically just a little lip crayon, but it feels more like a lip balm. And the shade Drink is this beautiful, just kind of like pinky red color. It looks really nice and fresh on the lips. It looks like you just kind of bit into a popsicle, and that's kind of the color that stayed remaining. So anyways, glad I'm already using this, but I definitely want to use it some more. All right, next up I have eyeshadow palettes, and I know eyeshadow is for old ladies, but call me an old lady then, because I love eyeshadow. I still wear eyeshadow to this day. Speaking of eyeshadow, I did want to mention that I purchased the newly reformulated, newly released Naked palette from Urban Decay. The Naked palette seriously was my everything when I first started getting into makeup. I was really happy that they came out with the newer one, because even though this is definitely kind of like old school makeup to me, this is not my favorite color story in the world like it once used to be. I just wanted an updated formulation of this palette, and so I am happy that they came out with it again. And let me know if you want me to do a get ready with me using this palette. I can definitely try to add that to like my filming video ideas and all of that, but such a throwback, honestly, and I am happy to have it again in my collection. I actually used it today. I created a look that I used to rock way back when, using the shades Half Baked and Dark Horse. Kind of, so Half Baked is here, no, Half Baked is here, Dark Horse is here, and wow, it just like took me back completely. It was crazy. So anyways, I still love eyeshadow. I still love eyeshadow. It's definitely still one of my favorite ways to just kind of like get creative with makeup and explore. And so I still, every month, every few weeks, I still love to just kind of like go through my makeup collection, my eyeshadow palettes, and pick out some palettes that I want to focus on. So I do have behind me, I have a eyeshadow makeup basket, or an eyeshadow palette basket basically. And I want to make sure that I'm focusing in on some of the palettes that are maybe more seasonal, and I want to make sure that I'm getting used out of the palettes in my collection. So I have palettes in there that are definitely more seasonally appropriate, or they may be new to my collection and I want to make sure that I'm using them. But I did kind of pull a sample of more like summer appropriate or summer themed eyeshadow palettes, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I just felt like an entire like summer eyeshadow palette video would probably not do very well, because again, I know that eyeshadow is kind of out, but I know that some of you still love eyeshadow. I hear it in the comments. You guys let me know that you still love, you know, buying indie eyeshadow palettes and everything like that. So I know some of you will still enjoy this. So firstly, this is again, shopping my stash. Like everything that I've talked about, yes, while some of them are maybe new to me, everything for the most part, I just shopped my stash. These are products that I want to use before the summer season ends. I'm literally just shopping my stash here, and I'm making a, hopefully, right, a conscious effort to use these products. But shopping my stash for eyeshadow palettes, I do want to use my Morphe and Maddie Ziegler palette. This is the Imagination palette. This is one of my favorite palettes. I like one of my favorite Morphe palettes, I should say. It's definitely not in like my top or anything like eyeshadow palette collection wide, but I was so surprised with how well like this palette performs. One of my favorite shades of life is the shade God Mom, which is this one right here. It's like the most beautiful shimmer shade, and that is like literally one of the entire reasons I keep this palette. Also for this pastel purple, for some reason I love the way that this pastel purple performs, and I feel like that's it. Like literally, I feel like I don't know what it is. I just can't let this palette go. I was so impressed with this palette. And again, this shimmer shade here is just one of my favorites. So I do want to make sure that I'm using this one, maybe, you know, pulling it out. For what I like to do is use like that pastel purple and put it on the lower lash line, and then put the shade God Mom all over the lid. And really, like, I just need to do that look once more before I put this away for the season. Another palette is my Glamlite, what is this? Ice Cream Dream palette. Super fun packaging. Every time, fun fact, every time my nieces come to visit me and my sister, they always want to see this palette. So anyways, here's what this one looks like. As you can see, it is very colorful, definitely more for the summer and spring seasons. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm pulling this one out and using it. I am definitely not someone who goes in with color all the time, but maybe I can try to make a conscious effort to use this one. Another palette is from BH Cosmetics, and this is the Summer in Saint-Tropez palette. RIP BH Cosmetics, RIP, because seriously, I don't even know what's going on. Are they still even a brand? If you let me know, or if you know, let me know. But here's the Summer in Saint-Tropez palette. Again, very, very summer, and I just want to make sure that maybe I can just create one look with this palette, just one look, you know, we'll see. So I'm pulling this one out. Another one, this one I could argue is an all year type of palette, but for some reason I think spring and summer. I don't know if it's because of the packaging or what, but this is the ColourPop Wild Nothing palette, and the packaging are cacti. So it's definitely very like summer in my opinion, but the color story is just gorgeous. This is one of my favorite ColourPop palettes because I just love how easy this is to create a look with, how easy it is on the eyes. So I definitely want to pull this one out. And then a palette that I actually purchased last year, and my sister and I were sharing it. Like, we were just kind of like going back and forth, and like, you know, I had a, you know, maybe a month with it, and then we would switch, is the Too Faced Italian Spritz palette. I went ahead and just bought it myself. I told her, you know, keep the other one, it's fine. I got this on like a really good deal, so I was okay with picking it up. But doesn't it just scream summer to you? The fun cocktails on the front, but this palette is just so beautiful, and I want to make sure that I'm using this before the summer ends. It also smells so divine. So there's that one. Also from Gourmand Girls, this is the Peach Perfect palette. I just feel like this one, again, just kind of screams summer to me. I do feel like I can maybe still use this in the fall and winter, maybe just not like the brighter tones, but again, want to make sure I'm using this one. And then I will not open this one because one of the shades in here is a complete mess. It broke a while back and now it's just super messy. But this is the Clarity Cosmetics So Mermazing palette. I'm a little bit tempted to declutter this one because I am not entirely sure if I love the mattes, if I'm being honest. I do really enjoy the shimmers. I feel like that's where they shine. I feel like they're absolutely beautiful, but I don't love the mattes. But this one is definitely a summer palette. I mean, the name literally screams summer. So Mermazing, like, come on. So I will try to, again, use that one. Two more palettes. See, it's already so messy. Like, it literally already made another palette messy. It's just so irritating. Like, it makes me want to like just get rid of it. And one of my favorite palettes is from Give Me Glow Cosmetics, and it's their Pastel Dreams palette. This one is definitely more of a summer palette, and I just need to use this one before the summer ends. You will not catch me in pastels during the fall and winter. You just won't. I feel like that is just like complete opposite of what I like to do. So definitely want to make sure I'm using this one some more. And then lastly, this is one of my favorite palettes right now because I just think it is so pretty, and I love Simply Posh Cosmetics and their formula, and it's the Coastal palette. And as you can see here, this is very like beachy, very summery. I do see like maybe these could be very like autumnal, as well as maybe these two rows, but for the most part, this is definitely like a little bit more colorful, definitely more like summer appropriate, and that was everything. I mean, that's a lot of palettes, right? Like who's to say I'm even gonna be able to wear all of these palettes before the summer season ends, but it's still a good idea, you know, just to kind of go through your collection. What are some, you know, products that you wanna make sure you use before the summer season ends? Because once the fall starts, you guys know, if you are familiar with makeup, like we're gonna start getting into holiday, we're gonna start getting into Halloween. Halloween has definitely become more and more popular within the makeup industry. So we're probably gonna see Halloween releases, we're gonna see makeup holiday releases, right? So use what you have right now, and things will get crazy when it comes to like all of the new releases. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found this, you know, as inspiration for you to kind of go through your summer makeup. Let me know what you'll be focusing on down below. I always love interacting with you all in the comments and hearing from you. But if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.